It's a big world out there, and I bet you can't wait to take your puppy out into it. I'm excited for you, but I want you to discover a few important pieces of information about puppy socialization before you start. If you do socialization in a way that's not beneficial to your puppy, it could create a timid pup for a lifetime. If you do it in a positive and slow way, you can help build a confident puppy for a lifetime. Now, I like that second one for sure. Today, I'm going to go over some common mistakes people make when socializing their new puppy. We are human after all, and we make mistakes, but we can also learn from them. We're going to go over these mistakes, and then I'm going to give you 6 must-do things when it comes to puppy socialization. Mistake number 1, puppy socialization classes or puppy kindergarten. I'm not saying that every puppy class is bad, but for most puppies, this is too overwhelming of a situation in order to learn new things in a positive way. For new puppies, this experience is much too overwhelming with the bright lights, the space is usually too small for the group size of pups, and most socialization classes are not set up properly with the right size and temperament of dogs matched up. These classes often go on for far too long as well, and then most of the dogs get overwhelmed, overstimulated, and then leave with a negative experience under their collar. Usually it's a surprise when you get there too, because you don't know what other dogs your dog may encounter. It's like if you're a beginner runner and you're planning for a 5K, and then you sign up with a running club for the elite marathon runners. It's all much too soon, too fast. If you're familiar with canine body language, you're gonna probably notice signs of stress if you put your puppy in that situation too. And if you happen to find a socialization class that handpicks the group based on temperament and is held in a quiet area with short 10 to 15 minute sessions that end on a positive note, then that might be a good fit. I don't usually see those kinds though, which is why I suggest avoiding puppy socialization classes and work on socialization on your own, at your puppy's pace. It's not too hard to do, and you don't need a class to effectively socialize and expose your pup to the world around them. Just to mention again, there are a few classes out there being run the right way, but most are not. Alright, mistake number 2, doggy daycares and dog parks. Puppy socialization isn't all about meeting other dogs. It's about experiencing new things in a positive way for a lifetime of confidence. We don't actually want to meet every dog we're going to encounter or experience. This is going to create a nightmare on neighborhood walks when your dog thinks it's okay to say hi to everyone and every dog. Not all dogs want to say hi, and some are nervous or reactive and should never meet another dog. Through positive socialization and exposure, we are teaching neutrality. So that means that your dog is going to see another dog and go, "Nah, that's what we want." Not barking and lunging and pulling and high-pitched whining that often gets misinterpreted as excitement. Unfortunately, many daycares are going to often create or reinforce some unwanted behaviors that are going to become problematic at home. Now, this video can give you a lot more information on doggy daycares from a certified trainer's perspective, including what to look for in a good daycare. And dog parks, like doggy daycare, they're often not recommended by trainers and vets. Unfortunately, just too many dog owners bring inappropriate dogs to the dog park. And these dogs tend to start fights, whether they mean to or not. Many people don't even follow the rules about leaving food and toys or kids under 10 out of the park. And many people don't know how to read canine body language, and then they misinterpret the signals their dogs are giving off. They brush off these signals as no big deal, which puts their dog as well as others in danger. And other people, they bring sick dogs with kennel cough or contagious warts to the dog park. It's impossible to know if each dog at the park has completed the puppy vaccination schedule or if they're free of illnesses. Even with older dogs, I don't ever recommend dog parks. There are so many other ways to meet your dog's needs without those downsides. Mistake number 3. Puppies in public. I know that a lot of people envision a dog who goes everywhere with them. I definitely had plans for Pickles and I to do some therapy or volunteer work. Pickles had other plans, including being a great demo dog for my training games. Unfortunately, not all dogs have the genetic temperament to do that kind of work or activity. Most dogs I see in public are very stressed, and if the humans understood or were paying closer attention to doggy body language, they'd see that the environment is not the right fit for their pooch. Puppies are rarely ready for public outings, especially the outings that involve interactions with other people and dogs. And if your dog has the right temperament, you can definitely start them when they're young and work up to public outings. But this often takes months of dedicated training sessions. It might even take longer than that. So when you see service dogs in stores or restaurants, they've been bred specifically for that temperament needed for that kind of job. And they've received months, if not years, and thousands of hours of training to be be able to remain calm and neutral in public settings. It takes hundreds of thousands of repetitions before a service dog masters skills. And the handler, they have to keep up with training and rewarding regularly. So it may look easy when you're out in public, but that's because of all the pre-training that's gone on. Now, we have a lesson on puppies in public in our online puppy perfection program. It's part of the Socialization and Exposure course, which is one of the 8 bonus courses that go along with the program. So if you're serious about socialization, and you should be, take a deeper dive with the lesson in the program. Mistake number 4, doggy strollers or backpacks. So you might think that instead of taking your puppy in public on a leash, a stroller or a backpack is a better option, especially if he hasn't had all his shots. Ooh, sorry to rain on your parade, but I don't recommend this for several reasons. When your pup's in a stroller or a backpack, he's not able to move away from things that might be scary, and it's a lot harder for humans to notice subtle cues in body language indicate consent or comfort or fear or stress. Backpacks, they also place your puppy in a really unnatural position, which can put stress on their spine. Now, you can work up to having your puppy on a leash in a new area, which allows you to watch body language carefully and allows him to get as much distance as he needs when experiencing new things. Distance matters a lot when it comes to new things. We talk a lot about the threshold concept when discussing fear and stress and socialization. If you're not familiar with it, I'm going to suggest a video in a moment that you can review for more information. Mistake number 5, trigger stacking. Have you heard of trigger stacking? This is another concept we talk about a lot when we discuss fear. This really refers to the stacking of multiple stressful events in a short time frame. An example of this might be a visit to the vet in the morning, and then a scary plumber comes to your home in the afternoon, and then a scary experience with an unleashed dog when you're out on a walk in the evening. As much as possible, you want to try to space out or really avoid multiple triggers in a short time frame. Remember, triggers are things that set your dog off, regardless of how you feel about the triggers. Many people tell me their dog shouldn't be afraid of something. Well, that would be like me telling you, you're no longer allowed to be afraid of that thing that you're scared of or you don't like. Is it spiders or snakes, small spaces, heights? Well, whatever it is, you're just not allowed to be afraid of it anymore. Now, how does that make you feel? Are you over your fear yet? No? Well, then neither is your dog. They're not ready to handle that thing that triggers them just yet. So if you need help guiding your puppy to relax after a stressful experience, this video here is going to give you some good information and some tools you can use. Mistake number 6, puppy training classes. Wait, what? I'm a trainer and I'm not recommending puppy training classes. Did you know that I actually used to teach and lead puppy training classes for almost 20 years? I've done it all. Private lessons, group classes, board and train programs, and now we have our online puppy training program. My training program is a result of all my experience with other types of training. I noticed that group classes were overwhelming for young puppies. When I did private lessons, I found that it could be really hard for the humans to focus and then remember all the things I mentioned. And they're also stressful if a puppy's not comfortable with strangers. Board and trains don't teach you, the puppy's human, how to train, and then the puppy often falters when the training isn't maintained at home. That's why I feel like the online training program is a great option. I teach you how to teach your puppy, and you can do it in the comfort of your own home when it's the right time of day for you and your puppy. And you can do it at a pace that works for you and your puppy because there's no expiration date. And you can rewatch the videos as often as you like to fully absorb the material. Okay, well, it's all fine to review mistakes, but just like with training puppies, let's work on what to do instead. Just for clarification here, not all classes are bad, but most puppies really do well with a class only after they've had some foundation skills under their collar taught to them at home first. And then when they're mature enough, they can handle such a distracting environment like a class. All right, here are 6 things you can do instead of making the common mistakes mentioned throughout this video. Number 1, slow and positive introductions to new sounds at home. This means that as soon as your puppy seems to be settled into your home, you can start to expose him to some new noises, like a lawnmower or the washing machine or a hair dryer. Also, things like vacuums, blenders, they should be on your list too. Number 2, advance this exposure at home, introducing new things as you watch body language. Now, you can move on to new sights and smells like coats that come out of storage and winter hats that might not be used yet, or mobility aids like crutches or walkers or wheelchairs. This is a great task for kids to play dress up, and you can slowly and positively introduce these sights and smells to your puppy. Remember what I mentioned earlier about distance? That applies here too. So I want you to check out this video on fear to learn more about the threshold concept and how far away you should be when doing these sessions. Number 3 on your must-do list, go out to parking lots and people watch. As exposure training is going well at home, then you can slowly work up to going out. This is when strollers and backpacks are not recommended, but instead, I want you to sit in your car or at a distance from some sort of activity and allow your pup to watch and smell. This is going to be a great time for you to tune into subtle body language by watching ears and mouth and nose and tail and other body parts. And if you're watching carefully, you're going to notice your dog pick up on new smells in the area long before you do. Number 4, decompression walks. Have you started decompression walks yet? These are not neighborhood walks. These are so helpful for dogs who are learning about the world but don't have great leash skills yet. Now these walks are done with a long leash and a back clip harness. These walks are going to allow your puppy to sniff and explore. That should be done in an area where you aren't likely to run into other people or dogs. The goal here is quiet sniffing. Believe it or not, this activity is gonna wear your puppy out much more than that brisk walk down the street. You don't have to take my word for it. Ask the 27,000 members of our Facebook group how much their dogs love decompression walks. And if you haven't joined this amazing group yet, well, the link is in the description below this video. You can check it out after. Number 5, puppy playdates with hand-picked puppies. When I poo-pooed doggy daycare and dog parks, you might have thought I just wasn't gonna recommend any kind of puppy playdates. Not so. I think puppies should have playtime with other dogs. You should choose the playmate carefully, however. You're gonna want another dog with a similar temperament and size. Those puppies do well when they play with other puppies because they share that energetic, mouthy play style that older dogs just don't like. Some older dogs have just the right relaxed temperament that is great for a puppy partner. I want you to keep the playdates short at first, maybe about 10 minutes max, and give both dogs frequent breaks to prevent overstimulation. And number 6 of your must-do for socialization, continue positive socialization throughout your puppy's life. Most people are focused on puppy socialization, and I love that because this is the best time to teach your puppy to approach the world with positivity and confidence. However, this isn't the only time to work on this. All throughout your dog's life, you can continue to introduce new things in a positive way which builds confidence. No dog is too old for people watching or exploring a new quiet area on a long leash. Armed with all this information, I think you're going to be ready to start on puppy socialization. Be sure to share this video with anyone in your home or your puppy's care team who's going to be working with your puppy. And if you have a dog walker who might not be so experienced in the new science on raising and training puppies, be sure to share our video on decompression walks with them. Not only is it going to make them a better dog walker, but your puppy is going to enjoy the outing so much more. Just out of curiosity, did I surprise you with any of these tips? Do you have any additional questions? You can pop them in the comments below. All right, this is Michele Lennon and the How to Train a Dream Dog team signing off for today.